Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our viewers and listeners. Welcome to another exciting episode with my co-host and colleague Sihle Tuta, our commercial director at Exness for South Africa, and myself, Terence Hove, senior financial market strategist at Exness. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And we hope you continue engaging with us. And please, may you continue engaging with us and reach out to either Sihle or myself should you need any direction, or any of our colleagues over at Exness if you need any assistance or direction with a particular matter. So thank you for following us and being part of this community. Sihle, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good on yourself, Terence. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Yeah.
Great, thanks, man.
Yeah. A lot happening in markets.
Yes, it's been a good start to the year. We've had to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
2024 was a very interesting year, from all angles. But we're looking forward to an even better and a more prosperous year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's going to be an amazing year.
Yeah.
To put it simply.
It is. It feels like it.
Yeah.
Lord willingly, may it be.
Definitely. I have no doubts.
Yeah. So to that point, Sihle, when we look at 2025, and we look at where we've come, one of the marquee moments, I think, for 2025 was, we spoke about this at length at in previous episodes, was the inauguration of Donald Trump and how markets anticipated a possible spike in cryptocurrencies at that moment when he was sworn in. At that very moment. And that highlighted the importance of cryptocurrencies in this world now. And where does crypto fit in comparison to fiat currency? And how do you compare crypto and fiat currency?
Okay, I like to take
And where do you see it going?
Look, crypto is the currency of the future. That's my opinion. I think anyone who disregards the impact that digital currencies like crypto has is really, being delusional. Crypto is the currency of the future. In the next generation, I think probably majority of transactions will be in crypto. That's just my opinion. But the whole crypto versus fiat conversation, I like to take it as a few steps back. Where money begin. Where does money come from? Right. In primitive times, right, we didn't have money as a medium of exchange. Right. We used to barter as societies with the system of bartering. Right. Which means if I wanted a cow, I would give you 3 goats in exchange, assuming that you also want goat meat. So, right, I want your cow, I have goat, I give you 3 goats, you give me a cow. And then I get to enjoy some beef, and then you get to enjoy some goat meat. Yeah. But that system obviously had limitations for a number of reasons, right? Because if you really think about it...
And that's at the base, right?
It was at the base.
Where all the exchange
exactly.
From.
And even before the system of bartering, every society produced what it consumed. But as you can imagine, not every family can farm cabbages and farm carrots and farm goats and make their own milk and make everything they consume. You need some products from a specialist. So which means if you need, as an example, I don't know, some special cabbage that a guy down the road farms, and you give him your carrots in return. So that's how the evolution from, producing everything you consume to the system of bartering, it made sense, to a point where there was even a central marketplace where we all come with our products and then we just exchange. But also that system had limitations, and then somebody came up with a concept of money, some form of currency, where you arrive at the central marketplace, instead of us just exchanging, because you might have something I want, right, but you don't want what I have. So let's put everything in a market, let's develop a form of currency which has value. I can just pay you something of equal value. So if I want your cabbages, I pay you whatever in equal value of the coins, whatever the currency is, well, in the case it's money, and then we do the transaction.
Right.
So money has evolved from then up until what it is now, which is fiat as we know it, which is money in terms of rands, dollars and cents, money in the bank. Because societies don't remain constant. There's always evolution. Now we know about crypto and digital assets. So somebody sat and looked at money in its current form and saw that there is a need for a change in the current monetary system. And hence we have a cryptocurrency, which has many benefits and advantages compared to fiat. There are obviously many discussions and many disagreements with which is the more superior offering between fiat and crypto. And I think from where I'm sitting, I think crypto is winning that argument, 10 times, 8 out of 10 times as compared to fiat, which is probably 6 out of 10 times. Yes, crypto does have limitations because it's very difficult to regulate. But I think the advantages of crypto far outweigh the advantages of fiat. Fiat is still going to be around with us for a very long time because some societies and some economies are laggards, which means they are very slow to embrace new ideas and new technologies, and they're very slow to respond to change. However, if you look at the rate at which crypto has been taken on in modern societies, because remember, modern societies in the first world countries influence how the rest of the world adopt ideas, adopt systems, and adopt ways of transacting. So all these other societies, the way they've influenced the others shows in how even regions like us in SSA and in India and all these other countries or these other regions have adopted crypto. So to answer your question, I think crypto is slowly going to overtake fiat in the next decade or the next generation or so. I think coming is a time when crypto is going to be our primary mode of transacting. In some parts of the world, you can even transact using crypto. You can go to retail stores and pay in Bitcoin. There are Bitcoin ATMs. You can go to a dealership and buy a car using your Bitcoin. You can go to some hotels and pay for your room using Bitcoin. So there has been some evolution there. So fiat or money as we know it is changing the way it looks.
Wow. So this is a very interesting development in terms of adaptability of crypto. I think if the adaptability is quickened, we'll probably see an explosion, a further explosion.
Yes.
In crypto. And that adaptability still hasn't, gotten to its maturity. I think it's still in its very infancy. And one method, for example, of accessing your crypto wallet that I see physical structural technology moving to support that growth, which is a form of adaptability in itself. To your point of how crypto is going to overtake fiat currency, it's the very use of tap and go. Because now you can tap and pay directly from your crypto wallet. The exchange rate, just like a US dollar account that you tap your card on, happens simultaneously. I mean, the exchanges, monies move there. There's systems behind this. And so now you can use your crypto immediately in the real world without necessarily that particular jurisdiction regulating it. That's significant adaptability.
So I think the regulation of crypto has been one of the impediments at the forefront of adoption, right? Because regulators around the world have been really debating amongst themselves whether or not, or maybe should I say how, they should regulate cryptocurrency, because there is no form of payment that's not going to be regulated. Crypto as an asset class, all asset classes need to be regulated. However, most regulations around the world were not really sure or maybe even competent enough on what approach to take to regulate cryptocurrency, right? Now, there's also the same, I think, back and forth, the same with gold, with what exactly is crypto? Why was it designed? Is it a store of value, or is it a medium of exchange? We all know that it serves multiple purposes, or it can serve multiple purposes, which is the store of value, medium of exchange, and we all know that traders, they speculate, right? There are people who trade crypto as a CFD, which means they take advantage of the price movements and therefore profiting on those price differences. So whichever method or whichever reason you are adopting crypto for is okay. But I think at the core, I think crypto, in my opinion, is a form of money, which means it's supposed to be a medium of exchange. Right? We should not take away from that sort of focus, because we don't want to find ourselves in a position where crypto is used more for speculative purposes than it is for exchanging, sort of buying goods and services, because it is a form of money.
Right.
We also can't overlook the fact that, like any currency, it's going to be traded. Some people are going to buy and sell currency for the sake of speculation.
Yes.
Right. But the question is, for me, that I think the industry needs to ask itself, why was crypto designed? I think that is going to eliminate, or rather that, aha moment, if we answer that question correctly, is going to eliminate the spikes, which, in my opinion, you can tell me if you disagree, is largely caused by speculators. I don't know what your opinion is.
Yeah, I think that is the natural concern, and also need for regulation.
Yeah.
However, eventually speculation can, some is the age-old saying goes, speculation leads to accumulation.
Yeah.
Right? So speculation, the activity of speculation will always be there. Probably it's only going to grow more.
Yeah.
More participants are going to become more speculators from cryptocurrencies, different forms of cryptocurrencies, right? And because of the volatility that cryptos offer, they become more attractive speculative tools compared to fiat currency. But fiat currency is still big. I mean, it's significantly bigger than the crypto world. I mean, fiat currency is massive, right?
True.
So also for crypto to get to those levels, I mean, there are headlines of certain caps that some cryptocurrencies are being given. So that is also now increasing their liquidity. Because for an instrument to be efficiently speculative, liquidity is very important. And liquidity is created from having a large pool of many participants, and, it's liquid, right? So if they are able to create an increase, or the liquidity is there already, so not create as much, but create more venues of liquidity, and then that ultimately creates more liquidity. So from there, I would, the concern of speculators will be curbed by regulation, I think. Hence, with President Donald Trump coming into office, there's the view that there'll be deregulation, which deregulation is also very good for spurring up liquidity. Because if we even look at banks, if you over-regulate banks, their liquidity dries up. If you deregulate banks, they have more liquidity. So it goes in seasons.
So here's my question then. Who stands to lose the most as crypto, as an asset class, gains popularity?
The one who doesn't understand what's going on, that person is going to lose the most.
And who is that person in that case, if you look at the entire finance ecosystem?
So if we look, if you have a remote idea of what's happening
or maybe let me be direct in my question.
Yes.
Where do banks feature in the success and the elevation of crypto as an asset class?
Yeah. I think what works in the bank's favor is the reality in which they operate. Ultimately, fiat currency is virtual money. Only when it comes into the real world, in your life, does it become useful. So where banks still have an upper hand is they are readily more useful to our day-to-day lives than crypto is, right? Hence, you'll find that there are other individuals that are far removed from that world because the banks still serve a significant purpose. I mean, if we look at the property industry alone, I mean, that's significantly influenced by banks. If we look at developmental finance, infrastructure, there's different types of banks. I mean, we are not talking about just the retail bank down the road. I mean, there's development bank and so forth, and different financial institutions that build their models on these banking models as well. So there's a whole ecosystem that for cryptocurrencies to really thrive, they're going to need to mimic that and better that. That's really where the catch is going to be. So how quick they're able to replicate that and how quick they're able to make those replicated models more efficient in a crypto sense and serving a purpose in the immediate world, then crypto might overtake, their institutions, perhaps banks. But until that time comes, because what level of integration cryptos would need to have to surpass fiat is that deep, for example, here in South Africa, in the most remote of places, you can't transact in Bitcoin. They might know about it, but they have no purpose or use for it. They might have a use for it, but the systems don't support that. So that is where it gets very interesting. So it still hasn't gotten to that level there. Once it gets to that level, then yes, it's very much on the way because crypto is still very tech-driven. So again, access to technology. If the most remote of places don't have technology, then they won't have use for it. So those are the bridging, those are the gaps that need to be bridged by crypto for it to really then say...
Which is going to potentially take a very long time.
There we go, yes.
So which means then crypto and fiat will have to coexist.
Coexist, yes.
For the unforeseeable future.
Yes, for now, yes. Because those systems and structures take time, effort, resources to build up. And some things, no matter how much resources you have, will take the time they need to take up. So they all coexist together. I think that hybrid is probably the future we are in now, and we are going to have more of.
And obviously an advantage is that crypto is tradable.
Yes.
There are some traders who have gone to prefer crypto as their primary instrument of choice to trade because of the volatility. What has been your observation as far as the take-up of crypto by retail traders?
It's become exceedingly popular, and for the jurisdictions, they've taken on crypto earlier. They are thriving, and we see very good, successful traders in those geographical locations that we also do business in. I mean, the crypto uptake has been tremendous, and that has, exploded trading activity at an exponential rate. So that is also very good for, our world. It's very good for businesses such as Exness. Yeah.
Final question for me. What are the reasons why authorities would be anti-crypto?
They don't understand it.
So it's all about understanding.
That's all it's all. It's as simple as that, because it takes a lot to understand crypto. Because it's got layers. There's understanding crypto itself. Then there's understanding the technology behind crypto, which is blockchain technology. How that technology communicates and the different uses and forms for it to relate to crypto, because crypto has other branches as well. So all of that takes time. So the quickest thing is regulate this thing, regulate it tough, regulate it hard, up until we understand it well enough to regulate it properly.
I think the concern from the regulators is the whole secrecy around crypto-based transactions.
And fiat currency is secret.
Is
it really as transparent as we say it is? No, it's not. It's also secret. We don't know who has $10 million right now. That's where the argument with crypto is. The perception with crypto is that people have loads and loads of money tucked away somewhere, moving wherever it's moving, and no one has visibility of it. That money, there is visibility. You can trace this. There's wallets. You can trace from wallet A to B, and it's exactly the same with cash. Eventually, if you create a web big enough, right, whether it's through liquidity pools and so forth, I think the capital will flow where it flows. So it has the same
I think the
mechanics.
point I'm trying to make here, Terence, is that, for instance, if I wanted to move 10 million right, through the banking system, it's easily traceable.
Fair enough.
The banks can request a source of funds. They can request some documents to verify the source or whatever the case is. The transactions can be verifiable. But in the crypto ecosystem, I can literally transfer 100 million from me to you, and you are 10,000 miles away from me, and nobody will ask me anything. No piece of paper, no source of funds, no reason for transaction. I just chunk in your wallet ID, and then click, the money's gone.
Look, that's to my point about regulation, right? With crypto, you can achieve the same, just as we have with fiat currency. With fiat currency, you achieve the same. You can send that 100 million in a flash. You just need to comply.
Yes, exactly.
You just need to comply.
Which is the crux of the issue, compliance.
Yes.
Which means crypto, as the regulators will put it, there is no compliance around it. There is no regulation. Regulators don't have foresight of the crypto transactions that take place. You know.
Yes. So, and to that point as well, that I made, in that is the crux, as you said it, compliance. But this compliance came as a result of understanding the mechanics of the system.
So which means it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. So eventually they will have this compliance once they understand the mechanics of the process. So where the issue then is, if the regulator chooses not to understand the mechanics of these processes, that's where the issue is, because then you are being left behind. You know, and my take to this, every reasonably serious financial institution to some degree needs to have that skill set amongst them. You know, they either need to be developing the skill set, they need to have it, but keeping on developing, because the technology is equally changing at a rapid rate, and it's influencing so many other factors, right? Positively, others maybe differently, but for institutions to remain adaptable and viable in the future, including the banks, there will need to be a bank of the future being able to bank the currency, because at the end of the day, it's currency. But what that currency is now doing is giving an opportunity for individuals to set up these structures and models and so forth. That's where the banks come in. They have that skill set. They can invest in that skill set and still offer that product in the future. So the banks, should fiat become less attractive and less popular, they are still future-proof ready. I think so. Ignoring, you know, the learning curve is what becomes dangerous, I think, for anyone who is hoping to be in that future.
Well, there you have it, folks. Crypto and fiat will have to coexist for the foreseeable future. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please subscribe and add your comments in the comment section. Let us know what your thoughts. What do you think on the subject of crypto versus fiat? Do you think crypto is going to overtake fiat as the main medium of exchange in your part of the world? Let us know. Please follow us across our social media platforms. We are on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Please follow all the pages. And if you want to know more about XNest products, please visit our website at xnest.com. Thank you for now. Chat to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye for now.